Good morning, folks. It's 6:55 a.m. on the 5th month, 17th day, 2025. And we're looking at here is more geoengineered mayhem in the weather plan of the land grabbers. And once again, they've got the Collinwood area over down in here into well in your sights, because them totals there are nothing to shake a stick at. Because the stick gonna be floating on by, stick gonna be shaking you. Would you look at the caca weather you got coming, New Zealand? And it's just pretty much coming in starting in about 6, 7 days. So I think we'll go over you first because I'm looking at you, right? Because some of these I'm not happy to see. And this wasn't worst case scenario. This is likely scenario. See this curved pocket? It's telling me there's going to be a beam over here that's going to hold flow up. Yep. This will be a fairly cold event. I'm expecting some snows up in this area here where the hand is hovering around here. Look at the hand. The hand is talking to you, saying, yeah, 30 centimeters of snow is possible, so get them lambs in the barn. Get my lamb chops in the barn, and Ma. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And when I look across your pond, the Tasmaniacal Sea over here, I'm seeing some nesties, and it's not showing on this graphic, but I'm seeing the Canberras in the sights coming up. So we'll be having to warn you guys too. This stuff here was very interesting to see the geoengineered line of this total showing up right here. You know, if I look, I'll zoom this back a bit and get out Mr. Squiggles here. Hopefully it loads okay. And we'll have a peek at this one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, if you go here, this is an EMF line. The chem here is a catalyst line, but inside there's a plasmonic haze that's showing up right in here, right in that spot, right there, shaped like that, right through here. I'm gonna try. I didn't know it was gonna be on that, but that actually illustrates my point quite well. It actually comes over to here. And if you come over here, you're going to see this EMF sweat right here. Okay? But inside here is a line. You see this here? That's an electrical connection to that. There's your flow line right there. You're going to have a gap. Let's make the gap a nice color. Yeah, how about a really friendly? Yeah, I do love the ocean blues. You're going to have a gap appearing. And where's Tari? You can have a gap. Yeah, it looks like a flow gap right about here. See, I'm watching for some wicked totals. But when you see this EMF line here like this, that is if I look through the marks I made. And I did mark this on my wall. And you see these totals here. Down around Sydney. And the shape of them matching up. You know that you're about to cop it. You see that shape? See the shape? Shapes and shapes. So the plasma spelled it all out. And it really says which forecast to have a look at. And as I also zoom in here, I notice this. See this haze here? In that gap right here? Go look at your maps. It's also a secondary rain front line. But it looks like they're holding a good bit off because what's going to happen, I'm going to go with green. I usually use that for flow. And when this stuff comes out to sea here, she hits this line and begins to spin. And a low forms. Right there. When the low forms, this stuff kicks up and in. The passage for it to come up and in is here. And that's what's going to come in here and give you the rock'ems, shock'ems. And it looks like it is Sydney South. Yeah, towards the gong. That's going to get the pocket of the heavier rains right through here, through that bay area there. You like surfing? Get your ass down here in that area there. You're gonna not regret it. Yeah, yeah. Nah, 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 nah. Boy, is there a lot of cam in your skies today? I have a habit of keeping things. So that's gonna kick a low over, and it's coming to visit New Zealand. It'll go here, but as it comes across, it drifts down. It's gonna bring a lot of rain and all this cam, all this dynamics, the stuff out here and that. That you're gonna see out. It's much easier to see in the other image I was using here of all this chemical catalysts. Have many effects. Then we deserve an honest answer to what's being done and used. A nice gap there. So you see why the gap in the storm is because of this heated flow lines created by that EMF. It's done a hold off from back here. And let's say Kishkak, you're right on the edge. In Newcastle, you might get a fairly little flow. I'd like this. They have to have something that can feed the storm, right? That wind that rushes towards the clouds. And well, have they created a heated outflow area here? Come on. That's like looking at ocean waves close up on Google Earth. But yet that's the clouds that form for the catalyst. And if I look in really close on any given mass of these things, turn some of these names off, and I'll show you how I can determine chemical catalysts in this plasma. And it's real easy to do. My gosh, Mr. Squiggles will do the snoops for you. Let's go with the red this time. That's almost like a little face of... Come on, who does that look like? He's got the comb over. We'd accidentally picked orange. That's one that's showing up. When you start to see stuff like this come from a point, you know you have a chemical deployment going on from that spot. These straight lines. This was something cruised along, made clouds. See, boom, 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 boom. Something on one of them balloons with a platform underneath, a gondola with stuff on it. Yeah, but don't worry. Donald Trump's gonna end chemtrails. There he is. He's in the sky. He's watching out for you. I don't make that up. By the friendly skies. Yeah, this is geoengineering a storm. If you look down here in towards the bite, it's an absolute crime scene. Like, what are these people in Melbourne? If they didn't get bad enough with clubs and tear gas, they're locked down and posing a lie. As a fact, lies, the mandates and shit. Look at the chemical catalyst over you guys. This is an absolute crime scene, this sky. How many different colors of light refraction through these crystals is going on, indicative of different type of chemicals that absorb different wavelengths. Like this mess here, look, that dot in the chemical catalyst in the plasma. So don't say it's all EMF. You have to have a particle to nucleate into a condensate. And they tell you it's dust. They don't tell you it's smart dust. Yes. Look at the color. It almost looks like a fire. I didn't put that graphic on. It takes too long to load. Remember, think natural first. As soon as you stop thinking natural first, you stop thinking. I rarely find, but I do look for. I said rarely. See that formation there, this chem? Something here, played in an X. Do a lot with a drone swarm these days, can't they? Landing platforms to charge them on. Imagine like a little miniature aircraft carrier for drones underneath a big gondola that's underneath a balloon that's as big as a stadium. And you'll start thinking along the same lines my research has led. What is making that noise? I have two rings wobbling. That was a pearl and some tanzanites. Beautiful Tanzas. Look at this sky. Look at this big sweat the crap off New Zealand. EMF much. Chemicals much. Force and flows on a star much. Bastard much. Because they obviously don't know their daddy's name. Because they acting like it. They don't know what name they gotta live up to. Or to realize they're gonna be the ancestor one day. What's your legacy? What's your mana? Look at that. This is chemicals in the sky, folks. Right off the coast, people be fishing and eating this stuff. I was watching on yesterday as something was just up here in the tropics, just pluming it up, just sending water into this line. It'll be highly electrical. They made sure chemical line connected like a wire or a duct, D-U-C-T, ducting. Let's put some labels on these, where near you poontang. Yes, that's you poontang over here. If you don't like my sense of humor, you feel free to go. I didn't tag you, do. You got a ship out here. See that circle right here? This is a ship signature. Look, Mr. Squiggles has something to show. You're about to get a lesson how to use this. See this right here? Right in the center of that. I want a thicker line. You have this object. Hey, where's my pen? Where's my pen is? My pen is PEN space IS. See the EMF shooting out from this one spot. And this is high altitude balloon deployment. I wouldn't say that's a ship in this sea. They have a balloon up here. No ship doing that. Look at that deployment here. It sent something out and it deployed. Yeah, this is very advanced DARPA stuff, this. It's a DARPA derp for the rest of us. But hey, if you don't like the planet, it's a solid investment. Yeah, I got wedges of energization coming from there, or perturbations would be a better word. Look at the chem here. Streaming inside fields of magnetic flux lines in that direction and that direction. So you get some wild flows there. And it tends to shut off airflow from naturally entering. In this case here, it was blocking off the flow in this area here up between Yupun and say pretty much down to Rocky. This is blocked with EMF, so that you won't get no inflows from the sea giving you no big rains or nothing. Not when it's looking like that. So that's good for cattle country, A bit of a smashing thing's not happening over here. Look at all the chem bombs they put up. Woo, it looked like Casper the Unso-Friendly Ghost. Nick's headless hunt maybe going on. The headless cunts. The hidden hand. Google the hidden hand. Tularis State Forest is being treated like a bunch of tools. But you see the chemical catalyst right here? It looks like the Windows logo. This guy brought to you by the Gates Foundation. Look into that too. Black, son no more. I don't consent. If we get one of your ancestors showing up here blowing out a dope over there in Rukenville, and they're taking the risk. Oh my, the risk. It's a cool place. Welcome to Sherwood. Well, we had a Trump in the EMF. Why not this one? Demon skies. Demon undisguised. EMF manipulates ether. Ether is a multidimensional fabric. Multidimensional fabrics can contain entities. And now somebody over here is eating under the Y, over in the national park, having a picnic here. So, that's not the best sky to eat at the Y at, is it? Yep. This is chemicalized skies. This is geoengineered skies. This is beautiful farmland here. It is being parched and browned because it's not getting sun and it's getting acid falling down upon it, and saltings of the soil, luminizations of the soil, heavy metals in your soil. But hey, that's okay. Monsanto or whatever corporation it is now, they have some GMO seeds that's resistant to these chemicals and these elements that shouldn't be in this soil. So let's just not put them there. Or do you don't think a sales pitch is a motive when we're looking at this squarish weirdness here over, yeah, forget it, over this thing that's blue and says lagoon, over these blue lagoons. It's being sprayed by the fucking goon squad. Yep, the goon buys down here and can't bear it. And you got some totals coming, so I think it's about time I ran through that. Maybe even check if it's running. Yes, we're running. And I'm going to look at comments. I'm going to actually load some up. So I'm going to run through this now. I'm going to do a little bit of a zoom back because this is really the areas of interest. I've included you, Adelaide, and that. And well, who lives at the tip of this Auckland Island any year? If you do, send me some cool pictures of the penguins. So let's have a watch. Nah. Well, the first step is coughs. I'm going to have to do this in 2 bits. And we'll. Okay, New Zealand, there's your South getting a smack. This is where your first little bitty totals are starting to come from. I'm calling these little bitties because it comes through fair quick. So over the next 24 hours, I'm expecting you to get about. I'm going to tell you if I agree with this or not. This is where the beginning of your totals is coming. That's why that thing showed up at nearly 400. Yeah, that's about right. I was thinking more along the line of 15 centimeters falling in this valley here with about 7 to 10 through there. Yeah. So Nelson, get ready to handle that amount of water in 24 hours. Okay. So I'm going to move on. Moving right along, someone to drink below. Moving right along. Sky crimes, sky crimes, sky crimes, sky crimes, sky crimes, sky crimes. I don't know anything else to say. I'm screaming and hollering. I'm trying not to swear, which is very difficult. I'm full on Tourette's right now. Gee, thank you for showing your who the poly prissy panties are. They can't handle a manly sense of humor. That's right. This is like the garage sometimes, my wall. I'll guarantee you if it's weather work, I'll put it on my story so you don't have to go fishing through any, like the flying fuck. That's the penis with wings that I've always joked about sending to BOM a bag of dicks. Yeah, that's what that meme is. And the other one, that's my opinion. Because I'm tired. I was reading a man hanging post, but all it was a bunch of memes out of man. Get the man to do the lawn. Get the man to do this. How do you get the man to buy you stuff while you do nothing? And you sit in the bathroom on your phones and you're laughing about stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going to share a meme. And us dudes say, hey, look, dudes, the rules. And people who weren't dudes were commenting, or were you dudes? I think the Croc Dundee test should become standards. Like the Australia gave the world a beautiful example, Mr. Hogan. And maybe with Trump president now, they'll legalize grabbing in the pussy, and we'll all be able to do a spot check, so we can protect our heterosexuality as our gender is being important. See, I'm kind of just stalling along because I know when your stuff's going to get it here, coming about 22nd and 23rd. Wow. Saudi Arabia gives you a jet. Oh, they gave that to them. Yeah, in 2029, that jet gets handed over to the Trump Foundation or Trump Library, something like that. As the Air Force gets to fit it out for, fuck, what a That ain't a backhander in front of you. Nothing is. If Biden had done that, what would you do? I don't think you'd be loving it. I'll get to you, Wes. That was the day that Sydney got the fuckery. Right. This is you, New Zealand. I think it's a little late, that picture there. My goodness, look at the pressure off your coast. Look at these winds. Watch these winds coming in. So you're going to watch yourselves through here, through Cooks. Right? This ain't the day to take the ferry with the 36-mile-an-hour winds. You're going to cry if I leave that on there. You're going to have to do... I had to learn something. I'm always looking at miles an hour. See, there you go. Kilometers. You're lucky I don't do this in spermometers. That's right, 1.7 miles in a spermometer. So I could do a conversion in my head. Yeah, that there's about 20 spermometers. I'm not the one that measures things, and I give definitions to things and questions that are asked. This is bad. I'm just wandering while I'm doing this, giving my hand a little bit of a rest in between, and find out how my wall works. Right? If it's weather, it goes on my story. If it's what I want to post and have humor, be one of the guys even. And you don't like that humor, you probably wouldn't be my girl anyhow. I'm a single guy for a reason. Right, because I didn't know those rules. That shit's just funny, man. I could just hear the ghetto voice reading it. Right, that's Heavy Falls Day there. So it's a really bad weekend, and I believe it was Friday. Your rains are going to start on Friday, coming in the evening hours, and they're going to last in through. I think it was Tuesday before this thing just fucks right on off. It should fuck right on off. That means they're stalling it. So the weather plan is changing slightly, which if they stall it a bit, it's going to increase the totals on the North Island. But I just went over that for you. Wind-wise here. This is where I play you. Wipeout. You don't want to be going out doing the crushing over with your sailboat. Coming on Monday at all, or Tuesday, or Sunday the 25th, yeah, it's a no-go zone in here. This is no-go zone. Look at these winds. Yeah, full-on gale. Full-on gale. So it's going to be roaring out here, Mornington Peninsula, and there'll be some great wave pictures. Please get me some. Get me some. Go get you some. There'll be big waves out there, so go get you some. If you know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, learn how to do it, then go do it. We won't risk safety workers' lives, will we? Why? Because we are warned in advance. We have plenty of time to go to the store. We have toilet paper. We know that we could drag our ass across our lawn if we need to. And well, if a prepper ain't prepped, ain't a prepper. If a truther don't seek truth, ain't a truther. And if I want some shit out of anybody, I'll squeeze their head. I told you, put your headphones on. My shows are never for children. I don't think children need to hear some stuff that we know. I think they should hear we're going to make a better world for them, and they should hear your love and your encouragement and your correcting of their bad behaviors that are unsocietally friendly. Hey, look, I've actually got comments. Freaking clouds are static. That's a bold claim. No, they're not static. They're moving. So therefore, they cannot be static, which is stationary. So I'm going to say wrong. Fail. I don't really know who you are, Kylie Irons. You've been commenting a lot lately. My back hairs are up. How do we stop, it says Lisa Hodgson, by doing the regretfully forbidden things that we know need to be done. Examples of regretfully forbidden things we're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to take a two tractors and hook a huge chain to it like you would use to deforest an area pull it across a field of harpy. That is regretfully forbidden. It's regretfully forbidden to make a 40-foot long golf club and smack a next rod off there while going far just because you thought it would be amusing. It's against the law. But without these devices that manipulate the weather and weather modification devices like the big EMF beam making stuff that they say you need to defend against the missiles that they themselves would fire, yeah, I say no more, no more. Do we pay for that kind of shit? Because we ain't no heart. But that's my honest answers. I don't fucking know how to stop. I know I have to keep doing this. I know if I can protect even one person's stuff, they won't have to suffer like I do not having my stuff. And that means a lot to me. If I could save somebody's family pictures I no longer have mine, that means a lot to me. You see how it's just a non-stop fucking of you guys as the low had to form off the coast. Boy, is this a slow one, this storm. Very slow, very long wetness. It's absolute inundation of the Bruce. You don't want to go on down the Bruce. You don't want to drown. Yeah, you're going to be some flash floods up in these hills. Be ready for them. Even Newcastle and all that coming in through Wednesday and Wednesday overnight hours as this fucks off offshore and the low forms proper. And yes, the surf conditions should be fair, decent, but you ain't never going to have another one of them ones again. You had your once in a lifetime event. But geoengineering is one of these things, that it's any season. You see that low kiss the corner there? Yeah, you need a little rain at worst. But all in all, I don't see no big cyclones hitting no one. No big nothings like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. But the totals I'm seeing for around the Sydney area were very, very, very high. It was right about there. I already done it determining. And it's following that flow line of the EMF, the weather plan. See how they changed these? I think yours was starting right about there. You guys got 24 hours to get ready. And you can wait. Alright? Okay, so I got a bit of a batch. But that line that was set up from Nuki north up to Taree is clearly spelled out in the EMF. So don't believe all the bullshit you always hear. Keep your eyes on the skies. Because you can't disguise your lies in the skies from an educated eyes. Educate yourself on geoengineering. Learn. And I'm happy to help you guys do that. We'll do this with truth, honest integrity. Because this is the way. One does not speak unless one knows. Bzzz, I know you're getting fried. Bzzz, I know you're getting bombed. Bzzz, measure this sine wave. Measure the sine waves. The sign of the times says you're getting fried, Straya style. Big love. Stay safe. Peace. It's not ending.